It's episode 1291, and it's a relevant podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
And just down the street there, our managing editor, downtown Emily Brown.
Hey, y'all.
Cameron, it's good seeing you guys as always, but I actually saw Cameron last night. I was myself was like, "Hey, Dad, you want to watch the Magic game?" And so I was like, "Sure." So I'm multitasking, doing stuff. He's like, "Dad, I just saw Cameron. He's eating popcorn right now." And we rewound, and he's staring out intently from behind the Magic bench, eating anxiously. It was after, I know the play it was too. It was after like the fourth Bane 3 before the half, where he pulled up.
Oh,
about
it was
5 feet.
Yeah.
It was about 5 feet behind the line. And he was 3 for 3 at that point. And he hit the fourth one deep. And Cameron is cheering.
At that point, I'm happily eating popcorn.
You were, but they were still a degree of anxiety in the face.
Because it was a tight game. And then right before the half, we went up. I think we were up like 12 or 9 or whatever at the half. And in the NBA, that means nothing, right?
Yeah.
Up or down at the half means nothing. So like everybody's enjoying they're all cheering, and I'm like, y'all just wait. It doesn't matter till the fourth. It doesn't matter. I've been here. I've been around the block. Anyway, I'm with a buddy, JD, who you work with.
Yeah.
And about halfway through the third, or late in the third, we're up like 19. We're rolling, and he goes, "Hey, I think this is a good time. I'm going to pop out to the team store." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Have fun." I just eat my popcorn. Just watching us just roll on the Rockets. I have never seen what happened. As soon as JD left the arena and went to the team store, the Rockets went on a 21-0 run.
Oh my!
And we ended up losing the game.
Day.
So JD,
y'all lost.
So JD left, like it was close. JD left. We're up 19. He comes back to the seat with a little bag of Magic merch, and we're down 2. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And so literally, like, he apologized the rest of the night and texted me today, "I will never go to the team store again. I'm so sorry." And I'm like,
JD's fault. We blaming it on JD.
It has nothing to do with Coach Mosley not calling a timeout. Has nothing to do with...
I don't know. I see it as a cascading thing that doesn't have anything to do with JD. I think if you were more... I think you... And listen, I'm not some new age person, but if we're going to just talk sports mojo here, they cut away. The whole country watching the game sees you not enthusiastic after this 3, but anxiously eating. Low-key instilling low confidence in everyone watching the game. And then coming into halftime...
I've been a Magic fan too long. That's why.
Well, coming into halftime, they're talking about, well, the Magic are playing well. But Dirk and Steve Nash, who are in that the Amazon halftime, they both said, this lead means nothing. And Cameron's bad mojo spread that to the halftime show, which then leaked onto the court. That is...
Dang it, Cameron.
It's your
JD going and buying a T-shirt is what made us lose last night.
No, I've revealed the truth. I've revealed the truth. I was watching the game. You have a micro view. I was watching this from 10,000 feet on Amazon.
All right, so when you guys come down for the game in a few weeks, number one, Derek, you can go to the team store all you want. You can leave the entire game because then the Magic will do good.
You see what it is.
Yeah.
You see what it is.
Magic Pistons. Derek can go out on the concourse. You can go back to the lounge. You can do whatever you need to do to change the vibe. And then the Magic will do all right. And I won't eat popcorn, Jesse. I will not stress eat popcorn.
I'm going to enjoy this belt.
For the audience who's listening, not watching, Derek is not wearing one of the current Pistons superstars, which they have a fun team. He's going the Bad Boys era. He's going straight Rodman.
Because that's who we are. We got Beef Stew. Beef Stew is the new Rodman. That's the new Rodman.
I need you to know my favorite thing about hearing people talk about sports is when they refer to they refer to it as we. Yeah. When it's like, me and the team when we're on this, and it's like,
yeah. Listen, I've suffered watching.
Just an observation.
I've suffered with the Pistons.
Emily, Jesse just laid out a good case that me stress eating popcorn infiltrated the entire team. We lost because of my lack of confidence.
Not only the team, the entire broadcast.
The broadcast team and everybody. The vibe. I'm reading the vibe. This lead doesn't mean anything. Yeah. That's true. The lead
That's
didn't mean
literally
anything.
what happened. I'm sure you can watch it back on Amazon. That's literally what they said. They looked concerned. Like they were like, guys, this is, don't get too excited here. It was literally, they were saying what Cameron's stress eating face, they vocalized what his stress eating face said.
It doesn't help that the Rockets are really good too. Like,
yeah, I know, but you're
good.
up 19. You shouldn't, in the third, you shouldn't lose anyway. Yeah. All right. Life of Magic fan. We have a great show coming up. Zach Levi joins us in a little bit. We also have One Has to Go Spring Edition. We haven't done One Has to Go in several months, so stay tuned for that. We have slices, but stay tuned right now after this break. It's Relevant Buzz. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by David C. Cook and The Chosen Interactive Bible Studies, which are, of course, based on the highly acclaimed TV series, The Chosen. Each Bible study covers one season of The Chosen and are ideal for small groups or individual study. With scripture insights, historical context, reflective questions, guided prayers, and scene excerpts, these studies will engage you in God's Word and equip you to grow as a disciple of Christ. The Chosen Interactive Bible Studies, seasons 1 through 5, can be purchased now on Amazon, Walmart.com, or wherever books are sold. Okay, it's time for
Relevant Buzz.
Tell us what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture this week, Emily.
So the first thing I want to talk about is a new show about David that premiered this week. And I'm not talking about House of David on Amazon Prime. I'm talking about David, King of Israel.
Spade.
Actually, when is he going to get his own show?
Hey,
I think we're good. I think we're good
on those weird like Roku channels. You can watch Just Shoot Me anytime you want. His comedy show from the 90s.
Yeah,
it's on every day. So anyway,
go
ahead. Sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Well, now I'm concerned about what is David Spade doing these days, but I don't know if that's a rabbit hole I want to go down.
I think he's podcasting. I think he's like a lot of the Comedy World podcasts now. I think he'll do like a couple nights in Vegas. I don't think he's a touring guy, but I think he's like, there's a certain era of comedian where the material no longer matters. It's just like, hey, I remember this guy from the movies, where
like Carrot Top. He's still in Vegas. Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're just like, oh, I'm here. It's all name recognition,
Yeah, David Spade. Anyway, that's not the David you're talking about.
No, yeah, we're not talking about Joe Dirt. We are talking about David, King of Israel, which premiered this week. It's a 4-part docudrama hosted by Zachary Levi, who you may know from Chuck and Shazam.
He, when Chuck was huge, was on the cover of the print magazine of Relevant. Like I remember, we did a photo shoot because he's a believer. We did we found out Chuck was a Christian, so we did an interview with him. And we did a photo shoot with him. We had a photographer go to his house. And I remember the photo shoot was Zach was sitting on his roof. That was the shot. So that was the shot for the article. Zach Levi sitting on the roof of his house.
He would not come down. And so we had to send the photographer up there. He just
was it like a Michael Scott situation?
Yes, it was. It was like he lived like at the bottom of a hill. So the photographer was like up on the hill and he was looking down on Zach sitting on his roof.
Zach, please come down for the photo shoot. No, I'm staying. And
that's what happened. I don't know.
Make lemonade. You know what I mean?
Anyway, go ahead, Emily. Sorry.
No, he is actually hosting this docudrama. He's done some like faith adjacent projects in recent years, but this is the first time he's done just like a straight up, this is clearly faith project. So I got to talk to him about why he wanted to be a part of it, and here's what he said.
I've always loved this story. I think that it's, to be honest, probably my favorite story in the Bible because he's like us. He is broken and he makes bad decisions, really bad decisions. And even through all of that, he is a man after God's own heart who has faltered, who has stumbled, who has gone out of the lines, but repents, comes back on his knees and is like, God, help me to be the man you have created me to be. And God says, I see you. You are still a man after my own heart. And there is redemption and forgiveness and mercy and all of these things that carry on into the New Testament. And, I think it's just, it's such a powerful story.
Cliffhanger. Like that was the punctuation was going up. Like what was he going to say next?
Well, and for people who are listening, not watching, he was also on the roof of a shed during this interview. Defiantly.
Truthfully, he actually did go into. We joked about it in the interview, like a little bit of a sermon more about David. Like he really does love this story and like generally believes everyone needs to hear it because of the like redemptive and like just the relatability of it all. And so, not that y'all I wasn't sure if y'all wanted to hear from Pastor Zachary or just actor Zachary. So that was on me.
Mhm.
I did want to talk to him about what makes this story different from the other TV shows and movies that have come out about David. Because within the last year, there's been, like I said, there's House of David, and then there was a David animated film that premiered in theaters, King of Kings, which is really great.
Isaac, what's his name, was in it? No, that was the Jesus one.
Oh, Oscar Isaac. Yeah, well,
Oscar
yeah, he
Isaac.
played Jesus. Different one.
So different one. Okay, different animated
one.
Bible.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
But yeah, people are like really talking about David right now. And so I asked, what makes this story different from those? And here's what he had to say.
My job as the narrator and host to walk people through the actual history of and biblical context of this incredible story that we all love so much, and be a compliment to what the wonderful work over at Wonder Project and Amazon with their show House of David, which is fantastic, right? But they are getting the opportunity to make a fully entertainment version of that, which in some ways hems them in because they've only got so much time and so much bandwidth to get into a lot of details, and so we get to come in and kind of the jet stream of that they've already kind of set and be like, cool, let us fill in some of those blanks. Let's get into some of the the details of all of this stuff and really lay it out. And
Okay, question. That was interesting. Question. Did you, in your interview, ask him? He, for many years, dated a good friend of mine. Did you ask him some of those things I sent you pre-interview? Did you get the tea?
Shocking enough, his personal dating life just didn't come up in this conversation.
Dang it.
Hate to break it to you.
She asked the questions, and he got defiant and ran and scrambled up the roof of a home and just sat up there.
Hurried up to the roof and sat there
and declared that the interview was
held
over.
his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just
He
really
really did.
shifted the vibes.
He dated a good friend of mine. I have some tea on Zach Levi. Anyway, go check it out. When's it? It's out now, right?
Yeah, it's out now every week on Thursdays on Fox Nation. So
there you go.
There. Moving on, there's something I did not think I'd be talking about in 2026, but DVDs and physical media are quietly making a comeback right now, thanks to Gen Z. So you may have heard, after years of decline, Barnes & Noble is opening more stores, and they said, this is a quote from the director of media and sales, that across all their platforms, from DVDs to books to vinyl, everything is way up for us.
And they're attributing it to Gen Z.
Yes, yeah. Like they said, young people are coming in, they're wanting to build their own libraries, which is interesting because they never really got to do that when they were younger. But
why? I have a couple questions here. One, why DVDs and not Blu-ray? Because I feel like Blu-ray is like a superior.
It is both, actually.
Yeah, it's a universal term for disc video.
Gotcha.
I just didn't want to name every physical media, but
yeah, I gotcha. The other thing too is like somebody gave me a DVD the other day. It's like, man, you need to watch this, and I was like, okay, cool. And I got to my house, I'm like, I don't have a single device that will play either a Blu-ray or DVD. I'm not a gamer, so I don't have, maybe like a PlayStation or Xbox would, but even my son's Xbox, it doesn't have a disc drive. Like you just download the games, like the internet.
You're such a millennial.
But I'm saying, do Gen Z, are they buying, I guess, right? Like, is that like
they have
owning?
Well, I mean, it'd be like vinyl. Like they have to buy a record player. So if they're buying DVDs, they're having to buy a DVD player.
Do any of you guys own a Blu-ray or DVD playing device?
I do. I have an Xbox.
Okay. Yeah, Cohen's Xbox and PlayStation can play them, but standalone, no. But to the vinyl point, at our vinyl shop, cassettes are big. So a few years ago, Cohen wanted to get some cassettes, so I had to get him a Walkman. So, and then I have a little boom box right there that plays cassettes. But like, yeah, you have to buy a device to play the media. I mean, so that's just where we're at.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's up across the board. So DVDs. I actually heard the other thing too about streaming, because like you'll love a movie and it comes and goes and you can't watch it. And so, I mean, like the other night I was wanting to watch like the Royal Tenenbaums with Cohen because he loves Wes Anderson movies, and it wasn't on streaming or whatever movie we were looking for. It wasn't even available. And I know Christopher Guest movies a lot of times aren't. So those like 90s, 2000s, if you want to have it, you got to own it, So, and now what? They just announced Paramount is buying Warner Brothers.
Right.
And there's already rumblings that they're going to consolidate their streaming offerings, meaning fewer things available, meaning a lot of the movies will go away and you need to buy them. So there you go. Interesting. Gen Z figured it out.
It is interesting.
But can't you still buy them from like Apple or whatever,
Yeah.
and just download it? You know what I mean? Like,
Or yeah, as we
I
have a
guess the
lot.
thing is like, is there is the cool thing not just like owning something? Because theoretically, if I really want to watch Royal Tenenbaums, I could probably buy it somewhere online and watch the digital
Amazon or
version.
Apple
Yeah.
would
But
sell
is there
it,
something about the physical media? Like,
Yeah. It's the
you get what
vibe.
I'm
People
saying?
they
Yeah.
want the I think people want the artwork back. I think people want the feel of going in and seeing all these different parts of a collection. Like, 'cause when you think about it, that's all Blockbuster was a multiple different collections, and you would get to go in there, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm into kung fu movies. Oh, I never saw this movie." And I think they want the process of collecting and that's never went away. Because think about it, like the pop, remember that era with the, action figures?
Mhm.
People
Yeah.
have been collecting for forever. It just feels like the digital media collection is kinda coming back, and then there's been this push from artists and creatives, especially music artists, to be like, "Yo, own our art again." So, when your favorite artists are, like, pushing their vinyls and all of that stuff, I think it kinda gets probably addictive to be like, "Man, this was fun, unwrapping the plastic, looking at the
Mhm.
liner notes, seeing all this art, like what we experienced growing up." It was fun going to the sound shop or Sam Goody and grabbing CDs and doing all that. That's fun. It's
Well,
cool, you know?
and I bet it, I'm sure there's some sort of effect on the consumption. And I'm not talking about the monetary consumption like purchasing. I'm talking about actually view time,
Mhm.
right? Where it doesn't feel as disposable. Where if I'm watching something on Netflix and I'm just not vibing with it, I can just pause it, go to the next thing, or just stop.
Yep.
But if I
Mhm.
go through the effort of putting something into a device, I got to take it back out, put it in. I'm sure there's some correlative, especially like the perfect example of this is like the CD changers, like in the 90s
Yeah.
and early
Yeah.
aughts, where,
Yep.
some people had them in the trunk of their car. And it's like
Mhm.
those 8 CDs, it's real effort to go move those bad boys. I got to pull
Yeah.
over. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, where there's something I'm sure about the physicality of the effort, even if it's minimal effort, it takes in the intentionality, right? Like, to put in a DVD or whatever, that would lead to higher watch times, you know?
I think Derek, you're really onto something with the collecting thing because like think about like back in the when we were in teenagers and college and stuff like that. Like and with some people, it's like this with their bookshelf, their library, the books they own says something about them. My CD collection
Mhm.
says something about my taste, my
Mhm.
uniqueness. My DVD
Yep.
collection says something about my taste, my uniqueness. And now I don't have that. Number one, I want to see the things I enjoy. I liked my
Mhm.
looking at my bookshelf. These are the books I love. These are the movies I love. And now they're all on a computer. I don't see them. And like you're losing identity. And what's happening to culture? Homogeny. Like there's no like
Mhm.
you're into this, you're into that. There's no scenes anymore, it feels like, because everything's just like we all shop at the same stores. And now like something about that defining your taste. I think there's something about that. Back when we were doing the print magazine, people would tell me we did demographic studies. The majority of our subscribers would keep an issue of Relevant on their coffee table for like a year
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
liked what it said about them. I see the world like this, kind of a thing. And so when people come in, it was a conversation starter. My DVD collection is a conversation starter. It says something about me. I think that's probably a big motivation in all this. So,
Yeah.
That in my opinion, that's why Christian rap has had the moment it's had in the last couple years. Is because it's such a niche that like if you know who No Big Deal is, it's like, and then you find someone else who knows who No Big Deal is, it's like that's my people. And people haven't had that because everything has been all about choice. And like you said, if I don't like a movie, I just click through it. I just click through it. But I think people are trying to find places where they do find um overlap in community there. So if I'm a No Big Deal, if I'm a Magic fan, like you wear that Magic jersey or you have a Pistons jersey on, there's just something in me that says that's my people, even if I never say anything to you. So
yeah.
if you come in my house and you see all these Marvel comics over in the corner, then you know that's my guy. Or you see Christian hip hop, or you see alt rock, you know that's my people. It's
And
like
there's
you're,
value to
yeah,
that. There's
it's cool.
identity in that. And so that's different than a playlist. I'm
Yeah.
with you, man. Anyway,
That's
I'm with
dope.
Yeah. Okay, last thing I want to talk about. A few weeks ago, we talked about the SEU outpouring. For over a week, there were these college students who had nonstop prayer and worship and repentance at SEU. And as it was still happening, people were, even in our own comments, debating, are we seeing revival or not? What is it that we're witnessing here? And I get why they'd be debating it, because we've seen a lot of headlines over the last 2 years about these college campuses having mass baptisms and worship services, and Bible sales have been increasing, and young men are attending church more. And so it seems like there is a very strong case that revival is starting to happen in America. But I wanted to talk to an expert about this. So I sat down with Ryan Burge. And Ryan is a pastor, but he's also a political analyst and researcher who's been studying trends within the church for the last 20 or so years. He's very knowledgeable about this. So I asked him, does the data show that there is revival happening in America? And the short answer is no. While there is things like SEU and Asbury and mega churches experiencing growth, he explained that when we look at that and decide that that's saying something about revival in America, that we're really just cherry picking details and kind of creating a narrative, and
Hmm.
that widespread, that's really not what we're seeing. I'm going to have him explain it a little bit more.
My job is to look at to provide the most accurate, objective, nuanced view of what's going on in America. And the answer is there is no revival coming to America, at least nothing I can see in the data. That's an extraordinary claim, by the way. There's a revival happening in America. Like, objectively speaking, that's an extraordinary claim. And the way we understand science is extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, not just, a little bit of here, wiggle there. No, no, no. I need to see, huge numbers changing in multiple surveys done with multiple methodologies. And I've seen none of that even come close to pointing to this reality.
I'm sorry, guys. This guy lost me right out of the gate when he said objective and nuance. I go with my gut here. Okay. What feels right? Objective, nuance, data. No thanks.
Yeah. You're a child of the internet.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Well, then you're really going to hate this next clip, because he does break down mathematically his stance. He's unfortunately, like you, Jesse, he's not going with his gut. He is going with the data. And here's how he explained it.
25% of Americans report weekly church attendance. Okay. So let's say that revival would be that number going from 25% to 28%, which is a very modest revival. I think 3 points is like, but that would be a big deal because the number's been going down for decades now. So any up movement would be, would be noticeable for sure. That 3 percentage points equates to 12 million people. 12 million people coming to church who were not going to church 6 months or a year ago. There are 300-ish thousand Christian churches in America. That means that every single church would be adding between 35 and 40 new worshipers today that they did not have a year ago. And I know what some people are saying, well, my church, because they go to Elevation or Life Church or whatever, said, oh, we added 5,000 last year. First off, you didn't add 5,000. Even the Outreach 100 added 2,000. Like a lot of those churches are adding 1,000 to 2,000. But the average church in America is about 70 people on Sunday morning. So you're talking about that church going from 70 to 110 and staying there consistently. How many stories have you heard of a church that's 75 people, now it's 125 people? I've not heard any, because that's what it would take for, like those 1,000, 2,000 gainer churches are interesting. Don't get me wrong, but that is, you're looking at the 1% of American Christianity and saying, look, there's growth there. But guess what? My job is to reorient you to the middle part of the distribution and say, guess what? In that part, there's a lot more churches, and there's no growth happening in that band of the distributions.
That is such a valid point. And for those of us who are covering the extraordinary stories, we forget about the corner church that has 40 people and they are not growing. And that's the vast majority of the churches in America. That's a valid point.
I think the point comes down to like temporal trends, whether that has to do with someone who happens to sort of like catch a cultural moment, whether it's like a viral sort of movement that people can kind of see and catch on to, or whether it's like, a book that really like translates, and it could be a biblical principle, like widespread. Sometimes those temporal
Prayer of
trends are
Jabez, remember that?
yeah. But what I'm saying is like those tend to come and go. right? Based on a variety of factors, right?
And it's not revival, it's based on something other than revival. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's real like, but that consistency that would see like growths in some places not being offset by declines in others, it has to be organic. It has to be community focused. It has to be gospel focused. It has to be service focused. Not that those things aren't happening, but I think that's what's going to lead to like a sustained growth.
And that's the point that in our full article, he
Mhm.
does make that point as well, Jesse. Like, what would revival actually look like? Like statistically or definitively, what does revival look like? And it looks different than just a packed auditorium or you know a
or
worship
Bible
service
sales
that
increasing.
went
Yeah,
along.
like
Yeah.
Right. So he makes it's interesting, and and like I love rubbing the cat's hair the wrong way. So when the narrative is all flowing one direction, I love to go, yeah, but what about this other direction? And so like we're not cynical. We're pro church. We're pro move of God. We're excited about SEU. We had the pastor on two episodes ago. We're for it. We just want to like temper the zeal with wisdom. Like we just want to like as a little reminder, everybody, terms matter, and we should be praying for revival. But maybe we're not yet seeing revival. Maybe we're seeing an outpouring in different areas. Maybe we're seeing growth in certain areas. But if we are going to be praying for revival, let's be clear about what our terms are. That's our only motive in bringing this story up.
See, my motivation is to say, hey, guys, we're not going to be like the Orlando Magic and be happy we're up 19 points.
Hey, I wasn't happy. I was eating stressing popcorn.
And then get the floor wiped with us in the fourth quarter on a 21-0 run and lose the game. So look, we're up by 19 with a lot of we're in the fourth quarter, guys.
I hate that you made that analogy because it's dead on right.
Yeah.
Everybody's cheering on. We're up. We have revival, and I'm going, y'all. I don't know if this is actually revival, and I'm eating my popcorn.
but to the stat point, whether it's with sports or whether it's with a market condition or whether it's with like a movement like the church, it's easy to get fixated if you're looking at data on the graph about raising the ceiling. Like, look how high numbers can get when you really should be concerned about raising the floor. What are we week to week? What is the base?
And that was
your
his
point about
point.
infrastructure. It's like, it's nice to see what our ceiling is. Like, oh, we had this big viral moment, or this person's kind of, their message is really connecting. But, are you raising the floor? If the floor is not raising at the same time, those spikes are going to come. But they also can go.
That's good.
And I do want to defend Ryan for a brief second because he at a point in our interview did say he does feel bad about how cynical he always sounds when people ask him about is there revival, and he has to say not really. So he's like he said, like, as a pastor, even he's like, I wish there was revival. I want there to be revival, but I also don't want us to kind of get the cart before the horse. Like there is still a way to go before we can definitively say that. So
I mean, this all started because when we were covering the SEU thing, we were seeing, and people posting on social media like revivals at SEU, and like we're going, words matter, and so we were very careful, and even talking to the pastor at SEU, that we're not calling this revival. We're calling this, maybe this is an outpouring. It was a move of God on their campus. But the word revival is very specific, and we need to, as a church, we should learn about that and pray for that, but not call something that it's not. And let's just be a little wiser in that.
I also think like a move of God is still beautiful, even if it's not
Absolutely.
full-blown revival.
Yeah.
And I think that's what bothers me sometimes is when people want revival, it's like you're trying to make something happen that hasn't happened yet. And that's fine, but like don't diminish the powerful thing that did actually happen.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
we don't need to lie about it and hype it up.
Yeah, go check out that story. It's a thoughtful conversation, and you can find it on our Instagram as well. We posted 90% of it literally on Instagram. You can like swipe through and read it.
Try to make it very easy for you to read it. So we want you to read it.
No excuses in the comments. It's like go read it first and then comment. And then the Zach Levi thing, there's an article with Zach at the site today. Actually, go check that out, relevantbuzz.com. All right, that'll do it for Relevant Buzz. Thanks, Emily. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices. All right, it's time for
Slices.
All right, what do you have, Jesse?
All right, speaking of stats and numbers, I got something that's going to shock people, and it's going to be very controversial. I'm going to have a lot of the audience angry at me, but I don't care because this is an issue that I saw firsthand in my life, and I then went down a rabbit hole, and I've been down this rabbit hole for months now. And there was a news story this week that has allowed me to bring it to people, and it's going to be very, very unpopular, but here we are.
Oh,
okay.
gosh.
That's the prelude. Are you interested? Good.
I'm scared. I wish I had popcorn to stress
I need to
you
go
right
get some
now.
popcorn. I was just going
Yeah.
to.
So the New York Times ran a story this week about the dramatic and very concerning decline in the bird population, particularly in the United States. It has fallen from 1970 to 2019 by 29%. That is very significant. And birds have, there's a number of reasons why this could be catastrophic if the trends continue. But one of the things is they don't know. There's a lot of like correlative numbers, like does it have to do with pesticides that are killing insects, which birds eat, which certain species eat? Does it have to do with development or threats to natural habitats? And there's one little reference they made offhandedly in the article, which I felt like deserved more attention. Right, that's something that could be a substantial factor here. And I got turned on to this by a podcast episode by a show called Search Engine that did an episode on this, and it really blew my mind because the morning I was listening actually to this podcast, there was a bird's nest in my backyard that my kids and my wife would look at while we drank coffee. They'd come feed the birds. One morning, a neighbor's cat came over, went up in the tree, knocked down the nest. And then later we saw it kill a bird, right? This was just a neighbor's cat wandering around the neighborhood. There is a serious, serious problem that cat own people. Any of you guys own cats?
No.
No, not yet.
Cat owners they're not like a lot of dog owners know where their dogs are. A lot of cat owners allow their cats just wander the neighborhood, right?
Okay.
And because they're hard to just contain in a fence. It's become such a big problem. Do you know how many, this is a legit study from the Smithsonian Institute in the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. In the United States, how many birds are killed by cats every year? These are domestic people's cats, like their pets that they just allow to roam outside.
Hey, how would they know?
1,000?
But I have no idea.
It's some crazy number.
Well, again, this is Fish and Wildlife Service and Smithsonian Institute. So, I mean, these are people that are, I'm sure they have some methodology here.
Like, did you report the killing you saw? Like, how would they have the data? Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, what do you think the number is that these scientific institutions have measured?
I don't have any context.
I'm
mean,
gonna
like,
go
how
with
many birds
1,000.
are there?
How many, Emily?
I'll go with 1,000.
Okay, 1,000 birds a year.
How many birds are there? How many cats are there?
There's a lot of birds. I know that.
How many cats?
Derek, how many? Just ballpark. What do you think? How many birds are killed by cats in the country every year? Just ballpark. There's low stakes. This is low stakes.
All right, cool. We'll say I'll say 1,001. I'm doing the Price is Right. I'm doing the Price is Right.
Annoying.
If we're going Price is Right, then I'm 1,002 and I won. What?
Oh man.
Cameron did win. But the real number is 2.4 billion a year.
No.
Billion?
There is a bird.
No.
There is a bird
There's
slaughter.
No way cats are killing that many birds,
Listen,
bro.
there is a bird slaughter. I mean, cats are killing birds. There's a bird slaughter out there, and a lot of it is because
How come we don't see feathers everywhere? I've never seen a feather in real life.
They're eating,
laying on the ground.
They usually hide them. Listen, I'm telling you, it is irresponsible cat owners who just allow their cats to wander. I know this is going to be unpopular because some people do not think about the ecological consequences.
Why didn't the birds fly away? Like, what do you mean? How does a cat kill a bird?
Cats are trained hunters. That's what they do. They kill for sport. Cats are smaller versions of like tigers. Even domesticated cats are. I mean, that's why cat populations got they're non-indigenous, right? The reason cats got introduced was to hunt rodents on farms, right? That's what the idea of a barn cat, right?
Yeah.
You got a rodent problem, you get a couple cats, they take care of the rodents. But a lot of people do not think about the ecological consequences of having their house cat wander the neighborhood all day. And it has become a serious problem. Now the bird population has dropped 29% in the last 30 years. And a lot of it's because people don't think when they just let their cat out. It's a big problem, guys. And
that joker going out to hunt, bruh.
It is.
You know what? It makes sense though, because I know people that have cats, and I remember one of my friends saying that like a cat would just bring a bird to the doorstep, like, look what I got, like, look what I just, so Hey, that's crazy.
Here's the thing. I am someone who is aware of the ecological impact, and I hate birds enough that I think it might be worth the risk. I don't care about birds.
Why do you hate birds? What did a bird ever do to you?
Tell me one beneficial thing they've ever done to me.
That's actually
other
just
than
you
the
said
ecology.
the impact. What do birds do for the ecology?
I mean,
Like-
all kinds of stuff. I mean, like,
I know what butterflies do. I mean, they pollinate and stuff like that. What do birds do? They
I'll tell
just
you what
eat-
birds do.
Listen,
They
listen,
poop
guys,
on my
we can't-
car, and it's
we
really
can't live in a world.
annoying.
We can't live in a world without birds. The birds were here. That's the thing. Like the ecosystem is a delicate balance of animals like eating and pollinating and doing all of that, right? When you introduce a non-native one, and especially like, we give cats their food, like it is not a natural. It's not a natural animal, right?
I want to know
Like,
birds versus Super Bowl Sunday. Like how many chickens died on Super Bowl Sunday for Super Bowl Sunday, and then how many birds do cats kill? And just
Guys.
see the difference.
I know this is unpopular with cat owners, but should be shocking to people. Like,
Cat Williams was at the game last
So what
night.
do we do? We lower the amount of cats? What do you propose?
Are you
well,
advocating for us to kill cats now? That's crazy.
I'm not advocating
Definitely.
to kill cats. I'm advocating for cats not to be just let out the back door and let to like if it's a house cat, you got to like if I had a dog, I can't just let it wander the neighborhood. You know,
The irony of this that we went Price is Right on our guessing, and now you're saying to spay and neuter your cats at the end. Like you went full circle Bob Barker on us just now.
listen, guys,
Yes!
this is shocking information. When I listen to this podcast, it's
Spay
called
and
Search
neuter your
Engine. And if anyone wants to listen to an episode that does a deep dive on this, it's quite shocking. But yeah, billions of birds a year.
If y'all see me with a cat next week, don't say anything.
All right, what do you have, Derek?
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm a techie. I'm not the anti-AI guy. I'm the responsible AI guy.
Right.
And I pretty much use AI on a day-to-day basis for music and for auto-tune is AI, ChatGPT, like the rest of it. So, but this is one of those responsible areas I'm going to talk about. So AI has entered the operating room, and there's been a rise of bots, surgeries, and misidentified body parts here. So, in 2021, a unit of healthcare giant Johnson & Johnson announced a leap forward in artificial intelligence, a medical device used to treat chronic sinusitis and inflammation of sinuses, and the device already on the market for about 3 years. And so far, there's been multiple injuries because the help isn't helping. So I don't think we've made it quite there yet with AI, and I think that this is another example of how we might need to pump the brakes a little bit, especially knowing that right now Anthropic, the government is asking to use AI, and
But they said a hard no. That's dead now.
yeah, I know, but the government is like, yo, we want to use this to help enhance war and all that different stuff. And it's like, maybe we need to pump the brakes here. As good as a GPT and good for research and finding slices, articles, maybe not so good for war, maybe not so good for surgeries as well.
See, that's the thing. When I research something or I look something up on chat and something I'm knowledgeable about, but I want kind of a condensed. A lot of times, I don't know if you guys had this experience. You're like, it got the gist. Like,
Right.
It didn't really nail it, but it's roundabout where I don't feel like you want that with the precision that a medical procedure would need.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like precision is the key. Like I almost feel like we've got to the place where we're treating AI like A1 sauce. Remember that season where it was like A1 sauce? It goes on everything. Like you remember that was the
Great
slogan that they had.
marketing.
It's like it goes on everything. It's like no, it doesn't. Like
tried to
A1
get
sauce
it-
is specifically
remember, they
good
tried
for
to do
a
it on
bad steak.
hamburgers. They were like, remember they would like,
They were like
the whole
try it on
campaign was about
chicken, try it on it.
Nobody
Like,
wants on hamburger.
no, it's not good on that. Like it's
Wait, I
it's
don't remember
good
that
on
era.
a bad steak.
It was like
Did that
early
catch
90s.
on at all? Okay.
No, they
It
were
didn't.
trying really
no,
hard.
it didn't because
They're
it's
trying
not
to make
good
it
on
like
everything.
the new ketchup, and it was like it's not the new
Yeah.
ketchup.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest,
fundamentally
though.
not the new ketchup.
I got to be honest. If they ran that back, I think it could work because A1's underrated sauce.
It's
Like,
good.
as
On
you're
a
saying it,
steak.
on a steak, on a bad steak too. Not
Yeah,
a good steak. I'm
I
talking about
haven't
like
had it in decades since
on
I
a
started
bad
eating
steak.
good steaks. Yeah, like
Is A1 still in business? Because I feel like that's one that like is sitting out there ready for
I've been
a
rewatching
moment.
Mad Men. It feels like Mad Men era. You know what I mean? It feels like a condiment from back then that just we lost. Certain drinks, certain condiments. That was just.
I'm
By the
sure
way, Mad
Cracker
Men.
Oh
Barrel
no,
is still.
Mad Men holds up. By the way, I've
A1 is still running numbers at Golden Corral. It's still running numbers at Logan's. It's running
steaks.
it up.
Oh, the bad
Yeah,
steaks.
it's running numbers. Like, yeah.
Wait, is Golden Corral still around? I thought that died with the pandemic.
No.
They're
It
live
had a
again.
resurgence.
Force.
It had a resurgence. Yeah.
Ooh, that feels like a dark place. No offense.
We forgot all about the studies about germs and stuff with Golden Corral.
It was just already like a rough place to be before the pandemic.
Emily hasn't been to a small town in like the southeast and stuff. Like a lot of these little tiny mountain towns and stuff, the Golden Corral will be the only restaurant. So literally people come big Friday night, Sunday after church, like that's the only restaurant.
And honestly, it's restaurants like that are preventing the next pandemic. They're getting that herd immunity up. Like every Saturday night, herd immunity rises by 3 clicks. And people are eating the same piece of meat from the ham carving station that everyone.
But we're kind of going back
over.
because I mean, people. It was almost like post-pandemic for the last. Everybody got bougie. People are getting less and less bougie now. Like we starting to go back.
Well, we can't afford to be bougie.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. It's like we got back to the normal. We got a little bit back to normal.
There you go. All right. Well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned right after this break. It's One Has to Go, Spring Edition. Okay, it's time for
One Has to Go.
All right, Spring Edition. It's the first week of March, which we know spring doesn't happen until the 21st. But, in March, we got March Madness coming up, so we're going to do a game about that. We got spring break coming up, so we're going to do a game about that. So we're doing One Has to Go this week. Why not? Here we go. I'm going to say 4 things. You're going to tell me one has to go. That's it. Tell me why. Jesse, you're up first. Baseball, outdoor concert, rainy night movie, or a comedy show. One has to go.
When you say rainy night movie, it's like raining outside and you watch a movie inside?
Yeah. Cozy.
Yeah, gone. I mean, if it's raining, you can do anything inside, but it's you can't touch those other ones. Play a board game, whatever. It's fine. No one's life's affected negatively. Can't lose outdoor concerts, baseball, or comedy. Come on now. This is.
When was the last time you've been to a comedy show?
Last time.
And when was the last time you watched a movie when it was raining outside? You do that more frequently than going to a comedy show, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I went to a comedy show was probably Nate Bargatze,
2 years
on
ago.
his last tour. Yeah, a year and a half ago, maybe. But still, I watched a comedy show on. It's not just live comedy shows. I watched a comedy show last night. It was a special, but I still watched it.
The other reason why I think the Magic lost is at this key part in the fourth quarter when it was a very close game. The crowd was like, we've come back. The crowd's really into it. And they realized that Cat Williams was randomly in the crowd. He wasn't like on front row or anything like that. He was just sitting back in the stands, right? And so they figured it out. So by the fourth quarter, I'm not joking. It was the strangest thing. Crowds cheering, timeout. And all of a sudden, and loud music's usually playing, stuff like that. The loud music stops, and they put a Cat Williams clip up on the Jumbotron. And it was this long, drawn-out bit where he's talking about how they're saying there's a chicken wing shortage, but they have too many thighs. And he's like, what chickens are you raising that have thighs but no wings? And obviously, Cat, there are people eating more wings, so they sell more, and they're not eating thighs, so there's too many thighs. But like he had this whole bit about chicken wings and these like scrawny leg chickens going around with their big old wings and all this kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, it went on, and it was at this key moment in the fourth quarter, and the place is dead silent. Why are we watching a Cat Williams clip? And then all of a sudden, then the camera pans to Cat Williams in the crowd, and everybody cheered. But it was like it sucked the air out of the room. It was so weird. And then the Magic lost. So Cat Williams, I'm mad at you. So there you go.
Well, real quick, on that note, I went to a minor league hockey game last Friday night. If you want to talk about getting the crowd pumped up, 4 fights broke out at one time. Like 2 guys started
love it.
fighting. 2 guys started fighting.
love it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the guy on our team was getting beat pretty bad, but he got up off the ice and started cheering like this. And for some reason, guys on both teams just decided, I guess we're all fighting now. Literally, there are fights breaking out all over the ice. The place is going crazy, and the person who was ever doing the the music or whatever starts playing "Taking Care of Business," and the guys are, and then he's got a boxing bell sound effect going ding 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 ding. It made me believe that every sport should allow fighting because it was the most electric I've ever felt in a game. And our team came back and won in overtime. It was.
But here's what I want to point out. Imagine getting the brakes beat off of you and getting up and getting the crowd hype off of you getting the brakes beat off of you.
Seriously, he had a bloody. His face was bleeding. Like he lost the fight, but people didn't care who won or lost the fight. It's very hard to really ascertain a hockey fight. It's like in the cartoons where like the cat and mouse are like rolling in the dirt and it's just like a big cloud. That's kind of what every hockey fight's like. All you know is like, this one seems pretty definitive. He lost that, but he got up as if he won, and the crowd loved him for it.
Smart
and
guy.
All his teammates were like, "All right, let's go fight. Like
Take
this
the
is
credit.
working."
He took the credit. He's like, "Yeah, I did it."
It was, guys. It was unbelievable. It's the best thing I've seen at a sports game in a long time.
I love it.
I love it.
Shout out
All right.
Norfolk Admirals.
All right, Derek, you're up. Streaming something by yourself, a group watch party, game night, or karaoke night. One has to go.
Well, karaoke night is gone.
You're a performer.
He only gets paid if he's not getting paid, he doesn't want to do it.
Well, no, you know what? I take that back. Streaming by myself. Let's get that. Let's get that one out of there. Because I'm gonna tell you why. Because on my homegirl's birthday, we went to karaoke, and I took all my hood cousins. We all went and overtook the karaoke. So this random guy singing a freaking Rolling Stones song, and the next thing you know, all my hood cousins get together and start singing NBA YoungBoy on karaoke. And the DJ is like this old white lady, and she's just having a blast. It was a pool hall. It was that has been the blackest that place has been in the past 15 years, and it was probably the best experience of my life. So long as I'm not having to do karaoke and I'm getting to watch people do it, it was crazy. Because then you started watching the white guys start trying to, or the white girls, they started matching. So they're singing like old 50 Cent songs and old Lil Jon and the East Side Boys songs, and it turned into a blast. Karaoke can be fun, especially when people are drinking a lot of milkshakes. Like that's when it goes crazy.
All right, Emily, Sunday afternoon.
Real quick, guys. Good news.
What?
I found a highlight.
Yes.
Okay. This is exactly as I recalled. Okay. Now our guy's getting slammed to the ice, but watch his reaction. He clearly has lost
Took
this
a little
fight.
bit of stick work from Grant Hebert.
But watch his
A little bit of
reaction.
helmet twirl, getting the crowd fired up.
Now watch what happens. Everyone's like, "This is all it takes to get the crowd on my side."
Everybody's got a dance partner in the next
Hey, yeah, that's what's
with
up.
Tyler and Amaro. But Dora's tied up with Feist. And I believe that's Osmondson with some merit.
Oh, hey, look, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this though. Hey, y'all, your guys need some fight. They need some fight classes because all I saw was white jerseys whipping black jerseys.
And that's all that was happening. But it only happened because the first guy that got beat realized if I get up and act like I won, the crowd is gonna love me. And guess what? Every guy, you guys see the video. Every guy just like, all right, I guess we're all fighting now.
And they all got whooped.
They all got whooped. But I'll say this. Our team came back and won in overtime shortly after that. Like they got the crowd on the side.
It worked.
It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen.
There was a clip a few weeks ago. It was like, a junior league. It was, these kids were probably like maybe 10 years old, but they were playing hockey and they were all fighting. And it was so funny because all of the adults in the crowd are like cheering it on. But it's like, these 10-year-olds are like beating the crap out of each other on ice. It just was such a funny thing
Lord
to
of
watch.
the Flies.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm telling you, it made me a believer being at that hockey game. I was on adrenaline high for hours after that. It was an electric in there. This minor league, this isn't even like AAA. This is a step. This is 2 steps away from. I think because a lot of these guys is last stop You know what I mean? You either
Yeah.
got last stop guys or guys
first
like,
stop.
yeah, or first stop. And that is a volatile combination. But you guys saw the video. All it takes is one guy acting like just refuse to concede. Just pump your fist and everyone. I mean, the whole ISIS fight. It was great, guys. It
He's
was
a
great.
legend. He's a legend.
Emily, group trip, last minute weekend getaway, seeing friends from out of town, or meeting new people. One has to go.
Maybe last minute trip. I need time to like prep and plan.
There you go. All right. Okay. Now we're switching up. These are alliterations. Jesse, yours are April. April Ludgate, April O'Neil, April Wine. What is that? Or April Fool's Day. One has to go.
Well, maybe it's a wine specifically like that's fermented in April.
I don't know. Is that a thing? Somebody research that. Look that up.
Or is it a
It's
person?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Oh, it's a band.
Oh well, then
It's a
they're
rock
gone.
band.
They're
A
gone.
Canadian rock band.
We can't lose.
Canadian rock bands. Bare
April
Naked
Fool's
Ladies and
Day.
April Wine. That's all that's ever come out of Canada.
USA.
Yeah.
USA.
Exactly. Another great
USA.
hockey moment. Yeah.
There we go.
Sorry, we don't have time for you.
USA.
April Wine.
All right, Derek, spring loaded. Okay, spring break, spring rolls, Springsteen, or spring training. One has to go.
Spring training.
I'm
not getting rid of Springsteen. That's an icon. Spring rolls are amazing. They're delicious. And spring break is awesome. I don't
There
want
you
to
go.
work.
Emily, Easter ones. Easter egg hunts, Easter eggs in movies, Cadbury eggs, or Easter egg as a spoiler. One has to go.
I'm getting rid of Cadbury eggs. I do not think that they are tasty whatsoever.
They're just chocolate, right? And then something.
But they're like
They're
not
filling.
good
They're pretty
chocolate.
good.
It's
Mm.
not
Some
good
sort of
chocolate.
filling.
And
I
whatever
disagree.
whatever
It's
the
cheap
gooiness
chocolate.
is inside of it is bad too.
It's like gooey or something.
Yeah.
It's like something
Yeah.
they'd sell at Golden
Delightful.
Corral.
Yeah.
So
Okay, here we go. Jesse, green, spring. Green thumb, green day, green room, or green card. One has to go.
I'm gonna go green thumb. Yard work's overrated.
Golly.
Jesse, Derek loves his yard work.
Yeah.
Okay, Derek, fresh Prince, fresh cut, fresh squeeze, or fresh air on NPR. One has to go.
Fresh air on NPR.
It's
It's
their
a
daily
radio show.
afternoon talk show with Terry Gross and like incredible interviews.
Gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
I know,
listen to it every day.
I've never seen it. I don't gotta see it now.
I listen to it every day. Terry Gross is the best interviewer that's ever existed. She's incredible. She can make anybody interesting. All right, Emily. Let's see. Park life. Here we go. Parks and Rec, parkas, parking lot concerts, or theme parks. One has to go.
Ooh. I'll get rid of parkas just because I've never owned one and I've just never seen the use for one personally.
And that's why you're always cold when Nashville gets chilly. You need a parka. It'll
I
keep you
have
nice.
a comfy, which is a fleece lined sweatshirt that is really comfortable.
There you go. All right, that'll do it for the spring edition of One Has to Go. Many thanks to Zach Levi for joining us. Make sure to check out David, King of Israel. It's airing now. Also, if you want to see more of that conversation about revival and all that kind of stuff, check out relevantmagazine.com. There's a lot there. And also, many thanks to Zach Levi for dating my friend and breaking her heart. So,
And there it is.
good. And if I'm not here next week, it's because I was murdered by somebody.
By said friend.
I said friend. Also, thank you for watching the show and listening. If you are listening, go check us out on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and share it. We'll be posting more clips and stuff over on the Relevant Podcast Instagram account. We haven't been doing that as well. We will be posting more clips there, so it's worth a follow if you're a fan of the show. Also, make sure to follow what Relevant's pushing out every day. You'll see a lot of it on Instagram and our other social channels, but check out relevantmagazine.com where we're covering faith, life, culture, and justice every day. Sign up for our newsletter so you get our top 5 trending stories every Wednesday. It's a great way to keep in touch. And if you want this show ad-free or other perks, an ad-free reading experience on the website and other things, sign up for Relevant Plus. Plans are as low as $250 a month, and it's the best way to experience our content. All the info is right there at relevantmagazine.com. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap it. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
I'm Emily Brown.
We'll see you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody.